New York City in the 1860s. Home to police officer Edward Struck, his wife Lydia, and their 6 children.
Struck was somebody who obviously was struggling to support this large brood.
What are you reading?
They manage the best they can until a public scandal takes away their livelihood.
Edward, dear. You're home.
I am.
You said you had something to talk to me about.
I have. It's not good news.
What is it?
I have lost my employment.
Struck's career as a police officer came to a very abrupt end.
Edward, how did this happen?
I don't know. They say it was an impropriety.
An impropriety? What does
He
that
was accused of cowardice, and he was fired from the force.
mean? God. Well, Edward, what's going to happen to us?
I don't know.
The shame is too much for Edward.
How are we going to eat?
He plunged into a depression and became increasingly really a kind of housebound invalid.
Who is going to feed us?
He started to become a heavy burden on the family.
A burden his wife Lydia does not wish to carry. She has a plan. A way Edward can help ease the load. His life insurance policy.
When Lydia, as a young adult, faced adversity, her solution was to kill him.
Edward's tea will have an extra ingredient today: arsenic. Easily obtained in the 1860s.
Lydia had no trouble at all just going to the local druggist and getting very, very, very large amount of arsenic.
Here's some tea.
This toxic drug is also simple to administer. But it is by no means a gentle death.
They look like they're in distress, and they are. The inner part of the stomach starts to slough away, and there is great irritation. There's bleeding. Then they get diarrhea, and then they start to get convulsions following that.
Edward Struck probably suffered more than Jack the Ripper's victims. Jack the Ripper murdered his victims very, very swiftly.
No one suspects foul play from a wife and mother.
This would have been a good way to cause a death, and to cause it unsuspectingly, because it could mimic consumption.
One death is not enough for Lydia. Now she has a hunger for more than money.
I think Lydia had developed a taste for murder.
And those closest to her are the most in danger. Children rely on their mother for nourishment. But tonight, Lydia is serving death. lethal doses of arsenic.
Poisoning is a common method of homicide that we see women involved in. They can be close to the person, feed them food, or get them a drink as if they care about them, when in fact they've just put a nail in their coffin.
Lydia starts with the most vulnerable.
So glad you came. Please check my baby first.
Certainly. Let me take a look.
Her taste for murder has developed into an unhealthy appetite.
Sorry.
She enjoyed wielding the power of life or death over another person.
Would you check my son?
How long has he been sick?
2, 3 hours. He's very painful.
He certainly is very pale.
Even if that other person was her own innocent children.
Once Lydia starts killing, she can't stop.
She's become addicted to murder.
Her own children. It would have been easier and certainly more moral for her to simply give them up to an orphanage.
All of it? Drink all of it for me. That's it.
In Victorian times, it's believed the gentler sex is incapable of serial murders.
You're seeing somebody who is driven, by extremely deep and deranged and perverted sadistic impulses.
Lydia Sherman changes perceptions forever.
We don't know exactly what made Lydia tick. What we do know is that by the time she was a young adult, a young mother,
Very good for your cough.
she was a sociopath.
In less than 2 years, Lydia Sherman's entire family is dead without anyone suspecting murder.
One would think that would have been enough. She was free of her family. She was free to do anything she wanted now. But she chose to marry again.
New York City in 1871. The merry widow, Lydia Sherman, marries again. Wealthy Connecticut farmer Dennis Hurlburt has no idea he's in love with a serial killer.
Male serial murderers tend to prey on strangers, whereas female serial murderers tend to prey on acquaintances and loved ones and family members, people they have some sort of intimate relationship with.
The happiness she displayed outwardly to the world about her new husband was completely false.
Just months into the marriage, Dennis is dead.
She married him for his money and planned to kill him all along.
Lydia inherits his substantial wealth. She has money and freedom, but it is not enough.
With serial murders, of course, is once they commit one murder, they sometimes develop this taste for it.
She is now addicted to killing.
Every time she got away with it, it bought her next murder.
Lydia has no trouble finding new victims. Next is widower Horatio Sherman.
Mrs. Holbert, Horatio Sherman is my name.
Hello, Mr. Sherman.
She enters his home as nanny to his 2 young children.
Inform me that you make a mighty fine housekeeper.
One of the most frightening aspects of these psychopathic killers is the extent to which they can simulate
We'd be honored.
normal human reactions and behavior.
Horatio soon falls for Lydia's charm.
She then married her final husband, and the one who, gave her the name by which she is best known, Lydia Sherman.
But Lydia is not happy sharing the home with Horatio's children. She resorts to old, bad habits. First, she kills little Frankie, then Ada,
For Lydia, killing took on a nature of its own. It became a method whereby she dealt with problems.
Horatio, to the class. Pull yourself together. Turn away. Turn away.
Her solution wasn't to leave herself. It wasn't to talk things out. It was to kill them.
her heartbroken husband turns to alcohol.
Horatio, I'm so sorry.
Just leave me be. Please, go now.
It is a fatal mistake.
There's no indication that Sherman ever felt any sort of twinge of guilt or remorse.
Sorry. We'll be soon. I'll leave you alone.
That actually is one of the defining characteristics of a psychopathic personality, is a complete absence of a conscience.
But this is the last time Lydia will enjoy the pleasure of killing. The family doctor orders an autopsy. Massive doses of arsenic are discovered. In 1872, Lydia is arrested and convicted of her husband's murder. The next year, she confesses to killing 3 husbands and 7 children. Lydia Sherman is sentenced to life in prison. The nation is stunned.
She was very, very notorious. There were ballads written about her. There were nursery rhymes sung about her. They made Lydia Sherman really into a kind of huge criminal celebrity.
The Queen of Poison introduces the world to the horrific concept of the female serial killer.
Thank goodness Lydia was caught and taken away from society, because I don't believe she ever would have stopped poisoning people. It was in her blood, so to speak. She liked it. She knew it was wrong. She did it anyway. And there's an endless supply of potential victims.
There is yours. Would you please eat up?
A dying husband needs a devoted wife.
He was generally suffering a miserable existence.
But when there's no love left,
Wendy was hardly the dutiful caregiver to her sick and dying husband.
A marriage becomes a burden.
This is not someone that I ever want to be around if she snaps again.
Summer 2000. Maricopa, Arizona.
Are you doing my toast?
An everyday domestic scene.
There.
Except this family is living in tragic circumstances.
Oh, and some jelly.
Joe was diagnosed with a very serious cancer, and he was terminal.
He was generally suffering a miserable existence.
Wendy,
What?
would you mind getting my pills?
Joe, really? You could get these yourself.
It's hard for me to get out of the chair.
Sure it is.
The dynamics of the family at the time that Joe got sick quickly went sour.
Joe Andriano has only months to live. His 30-year-old wife, Wendy, isn't coping.
Now I have to go to work.
Oh, and my beanie.
Joe! I can't do this for everyone, okay? I can't take care of everyone all the time!
Wendy is a bad nurse,
Have it! Too much, Joe.
and she resents the pressure of being caregiver and the only breadwinner. Wendy often doesn't come home after work. She's leading a double life.
Miss Andriano was noted for going out to bars and clubs. She would engage herself, if you will, with some of the men that she met.
How much have you...
She pretends she's single and available.
It was difficult to understand why she would prefer to carouse with other men when her husband was at home, terminally ill.
Wendy even flaunts her affairs in front of her husband.
I need you to be so quiet because one of my kids is on the couch sleeping.
It's hard to say if she was always crazy, wild, angry. We don't know. What we do know is how she acted when he was dying. Something was seriously wrong here.
Wendy's uncaring attitude is matched by her greed.
She set about to commit fraud and actually asked two different men to pretend to be her husband.
Listen, Rick, I need to ask a favor.
What?
I need you to pose as Joe in a medical exam
And tell the insurance company that he did not have cancer.
so he can get a life insurance policy.
Why?
The fact that she attempted to get this other life insurance was just an indication of how greedy she really was.
I can't do that.
Rick, we need your help. Look, I will give you $10,000.
I can't do that.
She was seeking, at least from that, a $1 million life insurance policy.
No, I can't.
She can't get insurance, but Wendy no longer cares. She just wants Joe out of the way.
Wendy could not wait for her husband to die from his cancer.
She had a goal that Joe Andriano was not going to clutter her life any longer.
If Joe's cancer is slow to kill him, Wendy will give death a helping hand. October 8th, 2000, Maricopa, Arizona. Joe Andriano, a cancer sufferer, is in agony.
Joe was very ill. He was just writhing in pain, laying on the ground in pain.
What are you doing? I need help.
I need an ambulance for my husband.
He hears his wife, Wendy, call 911.
Yes, it is. Yes, he has terminal cancer.
But no paramedics arrive because Wendy is just pretending.
Thank you. Please be quick.
Wendy had a plan for him. She couldn't wait for him to die of natural causes.
Where are the paramedics?
It's all part of Wendy's plan that started hours earlier.
She heated some soup on the stove and replaced the medication with sodium azide and had given him that.
Here's your soup.
Oh, thanks, darling.
It's a toxic weed killer, lethal to humans.
Is it good?
And she set about on a plan to murder her husband as quickly as possible.
Joe is left in agony for almost an hour. Finally, Wendy thinks he is on death's door and contacts a neighbor.
It was really unclear as to why she did that, but the friend did come over.
I just have to quickly tell you, please don't ask any questions. I mean, he's on the floor and they're dying, but he doesn't know I haven't called 911.
What do you mean you haven't called 911?
I just think it would be better.
You need to call 911. Wendy, you need to call 911. You have to call them. You want me to make the call?
It was the neighbor's view that perhaps 911 should be called immediately.
Joe, it's Chris.
Under pressure, Wendy finally calls emergency.
Hello? My name is Wendy Andriano. Now, I made a call earlier for an ambulance, and we're still waiting.
We called up paramedics 45
Okay.
minutes ago.
They're gonna be here any minute,
Yes,
Joe.
it is.
Joe kept saying, why is it taking 911 so long to get here?
All right, you're gonna be all right.
He was under the impression that 911 was on their way.
I need help.
But Wendy decides she can't risk paramedics snooping
We
around.
need to get him into the car. We're going to take him to the hospital.
Where's the ambulance?
I don't know, Joe. We've called them. I don't know how long it's going to take. We're going to get you into the car, okay?
Miss Andriano grabbed Joe from underneath his arms
Joe, get up.
and tried to get him up so that she could put him in the car.
Where is the ambulance?
Joe, get up.
Her plan to poison Joe isn't working.
Joe, get up! We gotta go! Joe, I'm sick of it! Get up! Get up!
By now, he should be dead.
She miscalculated how much poison was necessary to kill him.
We gotta get in the car!
Poisoning wasn't enough. It wasn't fast enough.
At that point, the neighbor said, look, I hear the sirens. I'm going to go outside to guide them in.
When paramedics arrive, Wendy comes up with a cold-hearted lie.
Ma'am, not coming in. Help. My husband is dying from terminal cancer, okay? He's DNR. Do not resuscitate. He doesn't want your help.
When you think about this, open the door,
He doesn't want to die this way, okay?
Come on.
He's DNR. No. DNR. No.
She was afraid that he would miraculously be saved.
Can't you guys do something?
The paramedics believe her and leave,
We did everything we can. Sorry.
sealing Joe's fate.
It was very important for her to murder her husband.
I need help.
Now, no one can stop Wendy.
Where are the paramedics? Oh.
She immediately started to hit him in the back of the head.
I need help!
She struck him so hard that there were holes on the top of his head.
She bludgeons him 23 times.
It was brutal because of the fact that Joe did not die quickly.
Joe, who bravely fought cancer, can't fight his wife.
She grabbed one of the kitchen knives that were there, and in the area where the cancer actually started, she stuck that in the side of his neck.
I think it's safe to say that Wendy snapped. This is not someone that I ever want to be around if she snaps again.
30 minutes later, the 911 center received another call from that address.
The same team of paramedics return.
It was right after you left.
What confronted him was a very grotesque scene. An individual who had had his head beat in, who had vomited, and who had had a knife stuck on the side of his neck.
With her husband lying in a pool of blood, Wendy insists she is the victim.
We were fighting. He found out about my affair. He had a knife. He was threatening me.
Wendy's defense was, yes, I killed him, but no, I did not mean to kill him. It was simply self-defense.
I'm sorry, man. He's gone. Thought he was still breathing. He's gone.
No one believes Wendy's story, but no one can understand why she murders either. Her husband would have died within weeks.
This is one of the most baffling cases I've ever looked at. The incredible brutality she exhibited toward her husband as he was dying of cancer, poisoning and then stabbing. No heart, no empathy. I can understand why she's on death row.
December 23rd, 2004. Wendy Andriano is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. She is currently on death row in Perryville Prison, Arizona.
If I could ask Wendy one question, it would be, why? Why didn't you wait?
Marriage is not always made in heaven.
She married several times, badly divorced each time.
When the bond between husband and wife is broken,
Margaret wanted revenge.
a wife scorned becomes a deadly woman.
It sure does make the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
Las Vegas, 1987. The high life is fading for one couple. Multi-millionaire real estate property developer Ron Rudin is on his second bottle and fifth wife.
It's not like I'm spending money willy-nilly. I have some really lovely pieces, and they're quite valuable.
Margaret Rudin is on her fifth husband, and things aren't going well.
Over the years that they were together, they had many quarrels and almost complete breakups.
You don't even take that job seriously, Margaret. So why are we talking?
She had been warned by a previous wife of Ron's that he was a womanizer and a heavy drinker, and Margaret went ahead and married him anyway.
What is the point? You don't care about anything I do.
Ron's drinking, affairs, and obsession with guns is not what Margaret signed up for.
You don't care about me. All you care about is these stupid guns.
Ron and Margaret's marriage, the fifth for each of them, was headed nowhere fast.
Margaret wants it all to end, and quickly. But at the same time, she doesn't want to kill her golden goose.
Hi there, it's me.
With every new woman comes a new level of resentment.
Yeah? You are beautiful.
Margaret found out that Ron was having an affair with a woman named Sue.
Oh, I would really love to take you to bed.
Margaret has a real rage going on inside, and that rage came out.
Take care, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Most women at this point would have left and filed for divorce. Not Margaret.
Margaret knows from personal experience the financial pitfalls of divorce.
Why did Margaret divorce Ron and try to win some money? She had tried that 4 times before. Her previous husband was as rich as Ron was. And each time, she came out the loser.
Margaret Rudin does not want to lose again.
I love you, honey.
Is that right? Tell me again how much you love me. While the woman you were talking to on the phone just tells you she's a 9 in bed.
No, I can explain.
You are degrading me, my love, by lying about me.
Take it easy.
Margaret wanted revenge. Margaret was a very jealous person.
Shaking with fury, she misses.
What are you, crazy?
It was a very, very violent confrontation.
Next time, Margaret won't miss. 51-year-old Margaret Rudin is on her 5th marriage, and like all those before, it's not going well. Her husband, Ron, is a heavy drinker and is having extramarital affairs. Margaret has already tried to shoot him and failed. Now she's targeting the other woman, Sue.
Your wife said these two are cute.
What are you talking about?
She sent these anonymous, profane letters to Sue's family.
No, this is unbelievable. No.
Sue and Ron were alleged in this letter to having sexual affairs inside these empty homes that Ron Rudin owned or that were being refurbished.
Having sex on dirty carpets.
It was a really outrageous step.
She's gone too far this time. I'm gonna leave her.
It's a decision that Ron will regret. December 18th, 1994. Like many nights, Ron is in the marital bed alone.
The first time Margaret tried to kill her husband, he disarmed her. The second time, she'd learned her lesson. She waited till he went to sleep.
With a .22 caliber handgun, Margaret shot him 5 times in the head.
Margaret cared about one person and one person only, and that was Margaret Rudin.
But Margaret isn't finished with her husband. She's just beginning a bloody slaughter.
She decapitated him by herself. This is not something that we usually see a woman do. Margaret was special.
Margaret needs to make it appear her husband has left her. She disposes of his body in the Mojave Desert.
This crime of particular violence, it is really above and beyond your usual murder.
I think Margaret killed Ron for 2 reasons. One, he made her angry. And 2, he had lots of money.
Margaret believes she's about to inherit millions. But even in death, Ron's one step ahead.
Ron was suspicious of Margaret.
I'm telling you, Margaret.
Very worried that his life was in danger, and he even amended his will.
So I want to put down in my will that if I die of anything other than natural causes, then that death is to be taken as suspicious. Like
It ordered to use his money to find out who had committed the crime.
And the person responsible is to be cut right out of the will. There is no way they're going to get their hands on my money.
And so this document really changed everything.
Make up a draft of that and run it by me?
Certainly, Mr. Rudin.
It isolated all of these potential beneficiaries from gaining any assets of Ron's until that investigation was completed.
For Margaret, so much effort for so little gain. She's locked out of the millions, and police are on a manhunt.
When a wealthy married man goes missing, the very first person the police should be looking at is the wife.
Two years later, 30 miles from Las Vegas in Lake Mead, a scuba diver makes a chance find. A gun.
When the gun was discovered and it was matched up as Ron's and the ballistics were accurate, we were like, where's Margaret? Let's go find her.
But Margaret gets the jump and is on the run. For the next 2 years, she moves from place to place. Until she slips up one more time.
The way they finally found her was through Christmas presents that Margaret had mailed to a post office drop. Pizza. And the return address was traced back to a town in Massachusetts.
Hi there.
Hey, thanks. Keep the change.
The police move in.
Who answers the door but a woman we've been looking for years, Margaret Rudin.
Police, open up!
Margaret just stared at us. She just stared at us and just had this cold look. She just had no emotion whatsoever.
"58-year-old Margaret Rudin is convicted of murder using a deadly weapon. She is sentenced to a minimum of 20 years in a Nevada jail.
At her age, that was tantamount to a death sentence. There are other remedies to a bad marriage than being shot in the head multiple times, chopped up and set on fire.
This was the least remorseful woman that we've ever encountered.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, losing a newborn baby.
It'll be okay, baby. Try again.
Would you like to hold your baby?
But for this family, it is the start of a tragedy no one can imagine. (1972), Schenectady, New York State.
Yankees meet tonight in the deciding game of the American League.
Joe and Mary Beth Tinning can take comfort in their two surviving children, Barbara and Joseph.
Joe was very happy. Joe really wanted children, and he loved them.
What is going on back there?
But friends notice that Mary Beth doesn't take to motherhood as others do.
What do you think?
She appeared to love them.
You are so in trouble.
She didn't like to deal with the messy part of bringing up a baby. The diaper-changing, burping part, the screaming all-night part. I think she liked them only as playthings, as toys.
But Mary Beth's toys are breaking. 3 weeks after bearing their baby, their 2-year-old son, Joseph, dies, and there's no explanation.
It's terribly, terribly hard. Everybody flocked around.
All the friends and family would run in and lavish her with attention and sympathy.
Joseph was just a little angel.
Despite her tragic loss, Mary Beth seems to enjoy being fussed over.
All of a sudden, she got attention from everybody, and it made her have a purpose in life, you know? And that's why I think she really, she just fed off of that. She fed off the kids.
The family is still in mourning when their only surviving child, Barbara, contracts a mystery illness.
She seems fine now.
The doctor insists Barbara stays overnight in the hospital.
Usually, when these children are brought to the hospital and are getting good medical care, they improve.
No, I'm taking her home. She'll be much happier at home.
But Mary Beth has other ideas.
No, I want her close with me. Come on, we're going home.
Barbara is home less than an hour
Someone please help me!
before she's rushed back in critical condition.
Help her!
Before morning, she is dead.
There was nothing wrong with that child when she left here.
The nurses at both hospitals gossiped a lot about their suspicions about her. But nobody was prepared to actually face her because they couldn't have proof. Jo was very distressed when Barbara, the older child, died. But these children kind of came and went like little wraiths, you know?
The Tinnings' 3 children have died within 3 months. It's a medical mystery.
If you got 3 kids that die, you really got to be aware that something else is wrong.
Jo Tinning was the perfect foil for Mary Beth because he was so accepting of everything she said and did. You wondered how he could have his children die one after another, and never say, well, is there something you're doing wrong? One of his quotes I remember was, well, you have to believe the wife.
When people look at a woman, especially a mother, they do not ever see a killer. There must be another explanation as to why these children are dying.
Most doctors rule out SIDS because 2 of the children have passed the danger age.
Kids that are up and walking around do not die from sudden infant death syndrome.
Instead, they suspect a bad family seed.
She and Jo were sent to one of the leading children's hospitals in the country to check whether there wasn't some genetic factor.
Doctors don't find a cause for the deaths, but the Tinnings are advised not to have any more children. But that doesn't stop Mary Beth.
What are you doing?
Oh, please don't hate me, Joe. I'm pregnant again.
A year after bearing her 3rd child, she's pregnant again.
Please, I can do this. We can.
And the cycle of life and death will continue. Schenectady, New York. Mary Beth Tinning has given birth to and buried 3 children. Against her doctor's advice, she gets pregnant again. In November 1973, she gives birth to a healthy baby boy, Timothy.
Help me, somebody help me with the baby number.
He is 2 weeks old when he too is rushed to the emergency room.
They all followed the same path. Mary Beth would rush to the hospital carrying a dying or dead child and say, I found him like this in his crib. Please try and save him. She appeared terribly concerned.
Is everything okay? My baby's not breathing.
Over the next decade, Mary Beth gives birth to 4 more children, and they all die inexplicably.
She would go from hospital to hospital. She wouldn't go to the same one over again to let somebody put the blame on her. She was smart that way.
But none of the medical professionals see what the real problem is. They don't realize Mary Beth is suffering from Munchausen by proxy.
Someone suffering from Munchausen hurts themselves to draw attention to themselves, sympathy from others. Munchausen by proxy is wherein someone hurts someone else, makes them sick, or injures them, or in this case, kills them, so that she can get attention for herself.
Mary Beth Kate followed that pattern pretty closely.
But Jo is ignorant and still wants a family. The couple decide to adopt a child, Michael. But Joe's happiness doesn't last long. Mary Beth now turns her lethal intentions on him. She tries to poison Joe with an overdose of prescription drugs. Whether she wants to kill him or just make him sick is unclear.
She finally, when he was taken ill, confessed to her brother-in-law, who rushed Joe to the hospital and got him pumped out, saved his life.
Police investigator Bill Barnes remembers questioning Joe about the poisoning.
Why did you take so many pills, Joe?
He didn't show the emotion. He might have felt it inside, but he didn't show it.
You know, you could have died.
And therefore, when I asked him, I said, you know, she tried to poison you, and he acknowledged that he thought she did. But if she did, she did, you know. It doesn't seem to bother him too much.
For some reason, Joe doesn't resent his wife's murder attempt or his children's deaths. Not even when their adopted son, Michael, home alone with Mary Beth, becomes the next victim. Once again, Mary Beth seeks medical help too late.
She called the doctors, and the nurse made an appointment for her to bring the baby in at 10. She shows up at 10 o'clock with a baby that had been dead for 2 hours.
When she had an adopted child and that child died, all of a sudden, there was no longer the possibility of this being an inherited or congenital disorder. All of a sudden, it was something in the home, and in all likelihood, it was the mom.
The Tinning children did not have a genetic disorder. They had a killer mom disorder.
Finally, after 13 years, friends and nursing staff pressure authorities to investigate the deaths of all the Tinning's children.
I told you, please just stop. Shh.
But before it commences, there's one more casualty. It is Bill Barnes who gets her to talk.
First, she denied it, you know, with me. And then when I brought Joe into it and said that, he said he was stand by her, she blurted out, she said, I did it. She killed Tammy Lynn. She killed 3 of her children, Nathan, Timothy, and Tammy Lynn.
Most people believe she killed them all.
In 1987, she is found guilty of second-degree murder of her last child, Tammy Lynn, and is sentenced to 20 years to life.
Mary Beth was astounded. I don't think it really had hit her until then that she was going to jail, and that she was going to jail for a very long time.
Mary Beth craves attention at the cost of her own blood.
23 years in jail has not changed her one whit as far as her psychic state. I have always thought she didn't belong in prison. She belonged in a psychiatric institution.
Joe promises his wife he will stand by her. And true to his word, today he still visits Mary Beth in prison.
I can't understand how any man would go back to a woman who'd do that. But there he is after 23 years, still visiting her in jail, still saying that he'll provide a home for her if and when she comes out.
Mary Beth is now eligible for parole, but so far it has been denied.
What sticks out mostly in my mind was how anybody could do that, you know, to their children. How anybody could do that to their husband. How could you be driven that far to kill another human being? I don't know.
Mary Beth Tinning is everything a mother should not be. Thank God she's locked away.
Christmas, 2007. The Doust family of Scripps Ranch, San Diego, gathers for the holidays.
This looked like a typical, enviable, American dream type suburban lifestyle. Loving parents, beautiful children, good schools, good jobs. The future was bright for everybody.
Let me get a photo of all my girls.
Jim and Becky are doting parents to their 3 adopted daughters.
The Doust family was gold. You were looking at 2 individuals who in their late 30s and 40s were adopting children. And I think that's rare, and I think that's admirable.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, oh, oh.
But their youngest girl, 14-year-old Heather, is a troubled teen.
Heather, come on. Come and join us. This is great.
By all accounts, Heather was a perfectly normal girl until her 14th year. And then she became very rebellious.
Heather was emotionally up and down.
Come on now. Let's make it look really pretty.
How is she? She's a little better. I'm not something of death halfway, you know. I know you're not. Well, I'd be fine if you'd all just leave me alone.
Heather would push the envelope to see how much she could get away with, to see how much she could manipulate. And I think as Heather got older, those character traits developed even more.
Heather expresses her inner turmoil in a potent way.
Heather began cutting herself in a way that defaced herself.
Drawing the knife across the skin and watching the blood come out is a momentary distraction from serious emotional or psychiatric issues.
Heather not only harms herself, she turns on her parents.
Heather, you're not going anywhere.
There would be strong words. There would be physical tussles with her dad.
I need the police.
At their wits' end, Heather's parents admit her to a psychiatric ward for professional help.
Dad, and bless his soul, took Heather to a local hospital, unbeknownst to Heather that he was going to do that caused a lot of conflict.
Heather was angry with her parents. She felt deceived by them. She didn't want to go to this hospital.
This is nice.
She felt like she was tricked into it.
How you feeling?
Great. Fantastic.
You know, the people who love you aren't supposed to lock you up. You ruined my life. I'm never gonna forgive you.
She was put on medication to treat her bipolar disorder and depression.
But the drugs don't seem to help. Heather's moods swing from suicidal to homicidal.
Wham! I'd kill her first. Wham! Then Dad.
She told her friends over and over and over again, I want to kill my parents. I want to kill my mom.
Wham! You don't mean that. That's all I can think about.
I believe her friends just thought Heather was full of hot air and didn't really think that was going to happen.
Heather also starts exploring her sexuality with girls at her school.
This was a private Christian school, and there were reports of potential lesbian activity by Heather.
The school won't tolerate Heather's behavior. She is expelled.
She was saddened by it. She was depressed by it.
Being expelled from school was a very, very serious rejection. We don't want you here. We don't want you with your friends.
Frozen out of her social network, Heather brings her relationships home.
The parents had a very strict policy that when friends came over, the door had to be open. When her mother saw the door closed in the bedroom and went inside, Heather's mother caught her having lesbian sex with a friend of hers.
Heather. Oh, what on earth? Michaela, you get yourself dressed and go home. Hey, Heather, what are you doing?
Heather openly defied her mother and father by having sex in her bedroom.
Get out! Heather, what on earth?
Angered, her mom, Becky, lays down the law, but Heather is done with rules.
Take this bat. I'm gonna smack her in the head. How many times can you smack someone in the head until they die?
The argument was monumental. It was horrible. Teenagers, especially girls, they may say, "Oh, I hate mom, I wish she was dead." But those are just words. Those don't tend to mean anything. They meant everything to Heather. She meant what she was saying.
Heather! Oh! What are you doing? Oh, Heather!
San Diego teenager Heather Doust is coming undone. Psychiatric counseling and medication haven't curbed her erratic and abusive behavior.
Heather went from being suicidal to angry, and Heather started telling her parents that she hated her parents.
Well, what about the doctors?
What are the doctors gonna do?
Her medication.
She doesn't take her medication.
Her parents are out of options. But Heather is working on a solution of her own.
Heather was in her bedroom, very quiet. She was Googling terms like child murderer and children who kill.
After surfing the net, she went back down. She engaged her mom in conversation as though nothing was wrong.
What are you doing? Good. What are you watching? Some game shows.
Everything appeared to be normal at that particular time.
But in the early hours of May 25th, 2008, Heather starts practicing.
Heather got up very early, about 4 o'clock in the morning. She picked up a baseball bat and started hitting it against a tree.
The fact that Heather battered a tree at 4 in the morning tells me that her behavior was pretty much out of control.
But Heather decides she needs a weapon that is easier to conceal.
Instead of the baseball bat, Heather decided to use a hammer. Heather had vowed that she would kill the first person who got up that morning.
Her adoptive mom, Becky, is first out of bed.
You look tired. Have you had your medication? I don't need my medication.
Yes, you do need your medication.
Heather approached her mom from behind, got her mother on the ground in the kitchen, and continued to pound mom in the head numerous times until her mom died.
It's a murder where the killer really wants the victim to know how much they hate them.
I've never seen a 14-year-old child hammer her mother in the back of her head in the brutal fashion this was done.
What have you done?
Awakened by the noise, Heather's father, Jim, stumbles into a nightmare.
Dad took her to the ground, and I think ended up on the couch with her.
Heather was saying, kill me now. And he said, why? Because I killed mom. I was in a cloud, kill me.
Dad, what is going on?
Call 911 now!
Heather, why?
Right after the murder, Heather told one of the policemen that she was half sad that her mother was gone and half glad that her mother was gone. Heather apparently thought her parents were the enemy. Her mother was destroying her life. Truth of the matter is, for Heather, the enemy is within.
As police look for a motive, they discover a premeditated killer.
On Heather's phone, police found what looked like a checklist for murder.
She talked about cleaning up things, getting rid of bodies. That's a tremendous amount of premeditation.
Prosecutors don't see this murder as the childish impulse of a 14-year-old. Heather is charged and prosecuted as an adult.
In this particular case, our district attorney made the decision that because of the planning and the premeditation, and in the way it was so heinous, that the appropriate forum was adult court.
In December 2009, Heather pleads guilty to second-degree murder. Incredibly, the man whose wife is bludgeoned to death stands by his adopted daughter.
Dad never abandoned her. Dad was in her corner from day one, visited her in the juvenile facility, wrote her letters, talked with her on the phone, and at the Heather sentencing hearing, there was actually declarations from other family members forgiving Heather.
The court doesn't accept mental illness as an excuse, but Heather's family link her troubles to her birth parents.
One of her parents was schizophrenic, one of her parents was bipolar.
The likelihood that she could have come out unscathed by any of that is probably less than 50%.
She was born with this genetic predisposition to have severe mental problems. It was almost like she was predestined to do something like this.
Heather Doust is sentenced to 16 years to life. She will be 30 years old when she's eligible for parole.
What is shocking about this crime is that the parents did everything right. Her parents did everything by the book, and it still went tragically wrong.
This was one of the saddest cases any prosecutor, any deputy DA will ever deal with, especially when you have children of your own. You see perhaps things in your own life that are tough to deal with your kids at times, but you never in a million years imagine it's going to lead to murder.